All right, y'all, when it's freezing outside, I am an indoor human. I am an indoorsy gal. And this time of year, every cat is an indoor cat. If there's one thing that can really stink up being stuck inside, it's the litter box. Don't let that nasty smell ruin your winter wonderland. Switch to Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter's non-clumping formula traps odor and moisture. It's ultra absorbent, it's lightweight, low dust, and one 6-pound bag works for up to a month. And Pretty Litter changes color to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in your cat, like a UTI or a kidney issue. And since Pretty Litter ships free, you're never going to run out. And then you don't have those huge kitty litter bags taking up space. So y'all know my daughter has a pet sitting business and she loves Pretty Litter. She was very excited when Pretty Litter showed up at our house. She says her clients really love how Pretty Litter's health monitor gives them peace of mind. Indoor cats and humans agree. Pretty Litter helps your house smell fresh and clean. Go to prettylitter.com/pinkshade to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/pinkshade to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/pinkshade. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. Hey everybody, welcome to Pink Shade. It's TLC Tuesday. I'm back in my office and I'm with Kimberly and we're ready to talk about Tell All Part 3. You guys, the Tell All, they really tricked us. We thought it was going to be 2 hours long. If you had it on your DVR, it said 2 hours. I was like, oh my God. So I was really settled in on my couch. And then after 1 hour, they flipped it to a pillow talk, but like one of those big ones that they like to do that I don't particularly love as much.
I don't like them either, but it was chaotic and pretty awkward. So I was excited about that.
You guys, the pillow talk, they had the kind of the usual cast of characters. We had Tim and Veronica, Kobe and Emily, and John and Sparkles and Patrick. We had those 6, and then they rotated rooms, and then they brought in
and Libby and Andre.
Libby and Andre, never forget. And then they rotated in Niles and Vanya to the 2 rooms, and that was like, whoa, I can't believe they're here. Why?
Now we can't talk about them, except we're totally still going to talk about them.
Yeah. We did find out if Niles was doing it in the butt. And when he said, I know my father's watching this, I can't say. That was pretty funny.
But I felt like, first of all, I'm sure this was filmed before last week's Pillow Talk aired, where a lot of people were being very down on Niles and being very pro Adnan. And I was very upset. And I did go on Reddit last night just to see if other people agreed with me.
Yeah.
And they totally agreed with me. Someone had pulled a clip of Patrick making fun of Vanya and being like, well, if a lady who couldn't even get a man was making fun of my relationship too, I'd be bobbling my head just like Adnan. And I think it's hilarious. No. And I was like, God, Patrick's such a douche. But then they said Veronica was, thought Adnan was hilarious too. And was like, Niles is picking on everybody. And then Niles walked in the house and they were being nice to him, but still kind of like poking at him a little.
Well, they were like, why did you come in so hot? Why were you fighting with everybody? And then Tim kind of like was rude to him. And then Niles was rude right back, which I loved.
Yeah, I did love that. And then Veronica still seems to be pro Adnan. And
wrong take.
I know you're cool with Veronica.
I'm cool with Veronica, but I said I was going to text her last week and then I didn't because I forgot. But now I'm remembering because now I've really seen her bad takes.
Yeah.
I liked that Niles, every time they say something, he'd say, keep watching.
Yeah.
Keep watching. Like it's going to get worse.
Me.
Yeah.
Like he's also me. Why I can't watch TV shows with friends because I'd be like, or go to Taylor Swift concerts because I'd be like, shh, did you catch that? Did you catch it? You're talking. Can you? That's so annoying.
That's when I used to host a Oscar party here for my friends because we had like a movie club and we went to every movie together.
People
and it
talk.
was 10 of us. And I was like, hey, quit talking.
Why are we talking?
Why are we talking?
We just missed that funny bit that was
Yeah.
Not that memorable, but still, I want to hear it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was very glad that I watched the Golden Globes by myself because I really enjoyed Nikki Glaser. I enjoyed all the things. I'm the same. I'm the
Yeah.
same. I don't like oh God, there was really a funny TikTok and I sent it to my son because it was like from the kid's point of view of like doing anything with your mom.
Yeah.
And it was like anything, oh, you're gonna fall. Oh, or
Yeah.
like in the car, like grabbing the handle and being like, oh no, okay. And he's like, Mom, why are you screaming? Oh, I just thought of something. One time I saw a video of an elephant. It was really scary. He's like, Mom, I'm driving. Or
Can you send me that? Because that sounds like being with my mom.
it's hilarious. And I mean, I sent it to John. I was like, is this what I act like? And he's like, pretty much. But it was we're gonna sit on the couch to watch a movie. He's like, okay, tell me about it. Oh God, I'm so scared. He's like, the opening credits, Mom. And she goes, I know, but the font was scary. The font was scary. And then like halfway through, like, okay, so that guy and that girl, are they going to end up together? He's like, I don't know, Mom. I've never seen it before either.
I saw one TikTok where the guy had made a separate companion piece to go with the movie they were watching as a family. It was like a PowerPoint that they projected like above the TV, and it answered. It was like pop-up video, remember? So it would be like, this is so and so. He was in that one episode of Seinfeld. Like this guy is here because he's mad at the other guy, and he is a spy. Like it was answering
instead of asking me questions. Like let's just watch it. Yes,
project it up there. Yeah,
that's good. But generally when I'm watching things with my husband, that's what he does. He'll go, wait, so if that guy was in the MI5 and then, but that other guy, and I go, I've never seen it. You and I are watching this together for the first time. I don't know. Okay.
Let's find out together. Okay.
Why don't we pause?
Why don't we watch and they'll tell us?
Go back now 2 minutes of your talking and we could listen again. Yeah. And so we're looking for something to watch together. I think the thing that I want to watch with him is the Ray Romano, Lisa Kudrow thing that just came out, whatever that is. I was like, that could be
good
because we like both of them. Everybody loves Raymond more than my husband.
Really?
And Friends. Those puts two of his loves together. Wow. I was like, we could really, we could watch it together. And then again, I've never seen it. So don't ask me questions.
Yeah.
And don't get on your phone and start playing Angry Birds and then ask me questions because then I'm really going to say you have to leave the room. Yeah.
Is he still playing Angry Birds?
Kimberly.
I didn't know people still played that.
He could. Well, first of all, we could buy another house with the money that he spent on it, and I should remind him of that whenever I talk about getting a beach house, and he says we can't afford it.
Yeah.
And then second of all, if there was a world champion of Angry Birds, he'd be the world champion.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's impressive.
Never been prouder. Yeah, that's his game. That's his jam. He also likes the one that looks like Galaga, like the shooting. It's old school. Oh. And solitaire. He's very into solitaire.
Oh, okay.
And Words with Friends. And Words with Friends, he's so good at that, I don't want to play with him anymore.
Oh, okay.
Because I feel stupid.
Yeah, I understand.
If anybody wants to play Words with Friends with me, let me know. But if you're really, really good, I won't play with you anymore because then it makes me feel bad about myself.
I find that I get too annoyed when like people send me a thing right back. And then I'm like, do I have to do another one right now? Like I'm right in the middle of something. And then I feel bad for letting a day go by.
I do Words with Friends usually just like one time a day. Like I'm sitting at night and I'm like watching TV, something I don't have to take notes on. And I play my Words with Friends. If they send it right back and I'm still sitting there, I'll do it. But sometimes it's just like once a day, I'll play all my moves and then walk away from it.
Gotcha. That seems like a healthy balance.
So are you saying you'll play Words with Friends with me?
Yeah, maybe.
Okay.
My phone is currently dying all the time. And I'm just waiting for the next one to come out so I can get an upgrade.
Okay, so when's that going to be?
I'm feeling like I shouldn't add another app is what I'm saying. It already dies by like 2 p.m.
When is that happening for your Android?
Hopefully February. That's
okay.
And they said they thought it was coming out next month.
Okay, all right. Well, just hang on.
I just got to hang on and keep the power charger with me at all times. Yeah.
That's funny. See, I didn't even make a dig about your Android.
Thank you. I heard you say Android, but you didn't specifically make a dig.
No, but everybody knows what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, y'all, when it's freezing outside, I am an indoor human. I am an indoorsy gal. And this time of year, every cat is an indoor cat. If there's one thing that can really stink up being stuck inside, it's the litter box. Don't let that nasty smell ruin your winter wonderland. Switch to Pretty Litter. Pretty Litter's non-clumping formula traps odor and moisture. It's ultra absorbent, it's lightweight, low dust, and one 6-pound bag works for up to a month. And Pretty Litter changes color to indicate early signs of potential illnesses in your cat, like a UTI or a kidney issue. And since Pretty Litter ships free, you're never going to run out. And then you don't have those huge kitty litter bags taking up space. So y'all know my daughter has a pet sitting business and she loves Pretty Litter. She was very excited when Pretty Litter showed up at our house. She says her clients really love how Pretty Litter's health monitor gives them peace of mind. Indoor cats and humans agree. Pretty Litter helps your house smell fresh and clean. Go to prettylitter.com/pinkshade to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. That's prettylitter.com/pinkshade to save 20% on your first order and get a free cat toy. prettylitter.com/pinkshade. Terms and conditions apply. See site for details. You guys, when it comes to grocery shopping and meal planning, I've got a problem. I never know who's going to be home for dinner, who just needs a snack, who needs a full meal, a lunch. I never know exactly what to shop for. But thank goodness my problem has been solved. Thanks to Hungry Root, it's the easiest way to eat healthy and get everyone's needs met. Shopping, planning, and cooking food can really be simple and stress-free. Just tell Hungry Root about your goals and preferences. You know, they give you a survey. I love a survey. And they fill your cart with personalized recommendations that get smarter as they learn more about what you liked or didn't like. This week, we got a bunch of amazing food. We got some delicious chocolate chip muffins and yogurt for breakfast, some Himalayan sea salt popcorn. Oh, so good. And our favorite was this crispy chicken and broccoli teriyaki rice balls. You guys, they were great. The meals are quick and easy to put together, and I love the healthy snacks on hand when people are running in and out. No high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners or preservatives in any of Hungry Root's food. Next week, our schedule is going to change, and it's very easy. You just go to the Hungry Root website and switch what your needs are every week. It's just really great, guys. You're going to love Hungry Root as much as I do. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/pinkshade and use code pinkshade. That's hungryroot.com/pinkshade, code pinkshade, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/pinkshade, code pinkshade. Okay, let's get into this show. So it is BT90, Before the 90 Days, Season 7, Episode 22, Tell All Part Trace. Tell All Part 3. We've got one more. 4 parts, Kimberly. 4 parts. One more to go.
Oh, next week looks good. I can't wait.
But next week, I do think it's going to be 1 hour and then 1 hour of Pillow Talk again because Brian's coming.
Oh, yeah.
But I wonder if also Lauren is coming. Like, who else is coming?
Yeah. Could they just send them the worst 2 people?
Right. Yeah.
And make
Because
them deal with them.
unless it seems like maybe Joe, like, it looks like they're filming this in Florida. So Joe would make sense because they wouldn't have to pay for him. But we don't know what happens at the end of that tell-all because it looks like he storms off and there's a problem.
Yeah. He acts like and they're all thinking he's like a baby. Be a man.
Be a man. He's a baby. But also then again, it could just be totally being tricked and he was just walking to his car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we opened with Niles being pulled away from Adnan when he's like lifting his glasses up and all that. And after they kind of pull them away from each other, Adnan says, again, it's not nice to meet you. Again.
Does he think that's clever? Like, stop using that same line. Like we heard it the first time.
And he smirks kind of at the camera, whatever. And I'm sure I can hear Tiger Lily on his head. You're so funny, baby. And Niles says, you just better hope I never see you in public. And Vanya talks to Niles and says, just ignore him. You know, don't let him get under your skin. Like, this is not important. And in his talking head, Niles says, Adnan is a bitch ass. Wow. He says he lives in Texas.
Let us whore.
Yeah. He what?
Wasn't that Chantel? Bitch ass, let us.
Oh, bitch ass, let us. I didn't hear what you said. Oh, yeah. You will not disrespect me today, bitch ass, slut ass whore. Good night. Adnan is a bitch ass. He lives in Texas, and woe be unto him if he runs his mouth to a Texan like he ran his mouth to me. Parts of him would be found. Parts.
Part. It's like a Dateline.
It was like, wow. By the way, I was just listening to your coverage of last week's episode.
Oh, thank you.
I was listening, and I was listening on the regular feed, and there's a lot of commercials there. I think I got to go back to Patreon.
There's 2 commercial breaks.
I know, but you guys are so good at your commercials that you don't know it's happening till midway it's happening.
I know. It's like we're tricking you.
Yeah.
Somebody got mad at us once. They were like, I feel like you need to make an announcement at the beginning of the ad because I'm enjoying it. And then I realize I'm being tricked and it's actually an ad.
And you're like, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
Okay. So back to Vanya and Bojo. Here's Sanella, cousin Sanella. We find out she's married. That was interesting.
Yeah. Cause Tim was like, she looks like another one that would she looks like the next one that would take all my money.
Yeah. Tim is such a misogynist. It's hard to listen to, hard to watch.
It is. And my crush on him has slowly faded away.
Me too. I never had a crush on him, but my thinking that he's like fun and funny is, yeah. So, okay. After Bojo rejected Vanya, she went back to the dating apps and she met Yashko. Now, Yashko. So Sean is saying Yasko, but
yeah, that drove me crazy.
Yasko. I wrote it down phonetically, Yasko, but Vanya was calling him Yoshko.
Yeah, Yoshko.
Yoshko. But she's saying Yasko.
No. Well, Sean.
Nobody corrected her.
No. Yeah. There's Sean Robinson.
Sean Robinson, everybody. So Sean introduces Yasko Bojo, Bojo Yasko, and Bojo says, hey, nice to meet you. And Yoshko says, well, here I am. Sean goes, I guess that was polite was being exchanged. I was like, we're not sure, actually. So Sean asked Yoshko how he felt about Bojo. And he says, yeah, talking to her for 8 months and then breaking up in one day, this is not the way you treat a woman. And Bojo's like, I agree. No one deserves that. Also, it's now 11 o'clock at night. I have to get to my next meeting. Yeah. Yoshko says, Joshko, whatever, I'm going to say it wrong now.
It's fine.
He says he and Vanya are no longer together. We see the scene on the beach with Vanya telling Sanella how they broke up and how he was like, you're driving me crazy. You know, quit talking to me. So Yoshko says he and Vanya were talking 2 times a day, every day, and she never once asked how his kid was doing. Not good.
I can see that. I can see that happening, and it would start to really bother me too. And so I'm excited that we're getting his perspective.
It's sort of like she's interested in the relationship, but she's not interested in my life as it actually is. Yeah. And he says, and that's not someone I want to spend my life with.
Also, talking twice a day is too much. Period.
Yeah, her whole thing is we only have the phone. And I was like, well, how to check in every night would be nice.
A little check-in maybe, but not in the morning too. What's happened? I slept.
Yeah, and now it's morning.
Yeah.
And then his kid was sick, and so he didn't talk to her for a day or two. And then when he talked to her again, she was saying like, "You've got to call me." And he's told her she was needy, and he hung up on her. And
honestly, I can picture, and that's what I had suggested was happening. She had been like, what, you're leaving? And he'd be like, I gotta go, like my kid is crying right now, I have to go. And then she'd be like, why don't you always talk to me on the phone, and like being annoying like that. Like I can see that. I could
see how it could go that way.
Yeah.
And they just have different things going on, you know?
Yeah.
And Vanya says, you guys have to understand, like, we were at a point where we were talking like which room in my house would be for the kid. I was going to give up my dance room for the kid. I was like, well, I mean,
what's her dance room?
She practices her belly dancing, I guess.
Room.
Yeah.
Also, Lori Vallow had a dance room. Crazy Lori Vallow.
That's not good.
Yeah.
So how was sex with Yoshiko after all the anticipation? And she says, it was great. You know, it was magical because when you like have that connection with somebody and then you do, and it was great, whatever. And then she cries. And then she's like, actually, you know, because now we broke up, being intimate is a huge deal for me. And now it's like, I can't take it back, but I wish I didn't do it. And Sonella says to Yoshiko, you made her feel used. And Tiger Lily just is like back and forth over there. And she goes, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
You should really just marry someone within an hour of meeting them. So then you're not giving yourself away before you're married and then you don't feel used.
And then you're both stuck with each other forever.
Legally. They now own you.
And Yoshiko says, I disagree. I didn't use her. I came to Orlando to extend what we built in Croatia and not for the idea for us to have sex and then break up with her. And, you know,
I don't think he came just to have sex with her. That's crazy.
I don't
Fly
think so.
across around the world to finally have sex with her. First, he didn't push too much having sex with her when she was first there.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure he could find someone to have sex with him in his own country, that he's not going to fly all the way to Orlando and leave his child and spend all that money just to have sex with her.
Yeah, I agree with that. And he says, that wasn't my idea, you know, have sex and then break up. And he says, and as for the sex, I don't know if it's glass half empty or half full. Either I am too big for her or she is too small for me. But we did
about this.
By the way, I watched it last night for the first time. I watched it again today to take the notes. When I watched it the first time, I didn't catch this part.
Because no one calls it out. No one is like, oh my God, is he saying what I think he's saying? And
I didn't
even
catch
on
this
Pillow
part.
Talk, it kind of got lost. Like,
well, they were like, oh my God. So basically he's saying like, he's so big, you know?
Right. But it's just, why are we talking? When did this become normal? Like, I don't remember 10 years ago, people talking this graphically and openly about their sex life. Not that you should be ashamed of it, but like,
but he's volunteering this. It's not it's not like, Yoshiko, how was the sex for you? He should just be like, it was really great. I'm glad we waited. And he could have just said that.
No, he's like, she has a tiny vagina.
I mean, he's like, I'm too big. She's too small. We could only do 2 positions. And it didn't bother me at the time. Like I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, it sounds like it bothers you because you're mentioning it.
Yeah.
And she's like, wow. Okay. Thanks for sharing. Okay. Very classy. She's like, oh my God, this is so unnecessary. And he's continuing to talk. And she's like, okay. She's like, this is so unnecessary. And that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then she goes, okay, so I wasn't going to bring this up, but because now you're saying this, he took a video of us having sex without telling me. And everybody's like, what? And Joey goes, wow, that's not good, Yashko. Not good. Not good. And she goes, yeah. And he was like proud of himself for doing it. He was like, hey, look what I did. And he goes, well, we had talked about it before, like talking about it. And she goes, it's one thing to talk about it and the one thing to do it without telling me you're doing it. And he says he deleted it. And Sean goes, and from the cloud?
Sean knows what's up.
Sean knows what's up. This was a whole thing on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City a couple episodes ago, where one of the girls was in the Sprinter van when some of the girls were fighting in the Sprinter van. And she, not really, it got real bad after this. They really started fighting. She like put her phone, like doing a video, but she was like taking a video of the back of the seat, recording what they were saying, even though obviously the camera crews they're recording.
Yeah.
She was doing it so maybe she could like send it to TMZ or like be like, look what's going to happen this season. Look what they're fighting about. This girl, her name is Brittany.
Oh, I just started watching this season. So now I watched the Bat Mitzvah episode.
Okay.
I hadn't watched it yet. And so now I know who Brittany is. Yeah.
So Brittany is the one that's dating the Osmond. She's also a new realtor at the firm that is sold on SLC.
Oh.
Just randomly, she happens to be a new realtor at that firm.
She also has high body count hair, apparently.
She sure does. She needs that Kerastas.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whatever. So, okay. So that's when Sean's like from the cloud, because there's this whole thing when Brittany was recording and Whitney's trying to talk to her and she's like, I deleted it, but you could check my deleted. And Whitney goes, but did you go to the deleted? Did you go to the recently deleted and then go to deleted? And Brittany's like, yes, you can check my deleted. You can. Everything is embarrassing, but you can do it. It's in the deleted. So that's what I was expecting Sean to go, and from the cloud and the deleted.
Mm-hmm.
And he
also,
says, also,
a good forensic tech guy could still find it.
It's never gone, guys.
It's never gone.
Tell your teenagers it's never gone. And he says, I saw she was devastated. And I thought when I did it, it would spice things up. These people, this was a 10-day trip. It was the first time they ever had sex, and already you need to spice things up.
Exactly.
He said, I thought it would spice things up, and I knew it was wrong.
I
And
want to know more about this conversation that they had. Like,
it might be one day that might be fun. We could record it, like, since you're leaving, and we would have it, or
right. And then he did it. And then it's not, I'm not trying to defend him because does sound unconscionable, like unconscionable what he did. Like it's horrid. It's despicable. But I do kind of want to know a little more about the conversation they had ahead of time. And then he showed it to her. And then, you know, he wasn't trying to hide it or anything. I mean, he wasn't like a teenager posting it online or like revenge porning it.
Right.
But it's still absolutely not okay. And he even admits there was consent that I like imagined. I made up a story in my head that she consented to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's still wrong. It's completely wrong.
And Niles is like, yes or no. And if there's no yes or no, that means you don't know the answer. So you shouldn't have done that. So Vanya cries and is like, this is why, you know, people ask, why are you single? Why are you celibate? Like, this is it. Like, you can't trust anybody. Adnan, for once, had a good take. It's the first time. He says, this is not normal. This is not legal too. I know.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, and she's like, that's right, baby. You study that law. That's great. And Sean says, Yashko, whatever the hell she's calling him. Would you like to apologize now that you have Vanya here? And he says, Vanya, I'm terribly sorry. This is something that kept me awake a lot of days.
Good.
I'm not proud of it. I should not have done this. I violated your trust. I violated your privacy. I am deeply sorry.
Good. I feel like he took media lessons or something.
Very good.
Mm-hmm. He hit every point.
He did. And so she stopped crying at that. You guys, when it comes to grocery shopping and meal planning, I've got a problem. I never know who's going to be home for dinner, who just needs a snack, who needs a full meal, a lunch. I never know exactly what to shop for. But thank goodness my problem has been solved. Thanks to Hungry Root, it's the easiest way to eat healthy and get everyone's needs met. Shopping, planning, and cooking food can really be simple and stress-free. Just tell Hungry Root about your goals and preferences. You know, they give you a survey. I love a survey. And they fill your cart with personalized recommendations that get smarter as they learn more about what you liked or didn't like. This week, we got a bunch of amazing food. We got some delicious chocolate chip muffins and yogurt for breakfast, some Himalayan sea salt popcorn. Oh, so good. And our favorite was this crispy chicken and broccoli teriyaki rice balls. You guys, they were great. The meals are quick and easy to put together, and I love the healthy snacks on hand when people are running in and out. No high fructose corn syrup, no artificial sweeteners or preservatives in any of Hungry Root's food. Next week, our schedule is going to change, and it's very easy. You just go to the Hungry Root website and switch what your needs are every week. It's just really great, guys. You're going to love Hungry Root as much as I do. Take advantage of this exclusive offer. For a limited time, get 40% off your first box, plus get a free item in every box for life. Go to hungryroot.com/pinkshade and use code pinkshade. That's hungryroot.com/pinkshade, code pinkshade, to get 40% off your first box and a free item of your choice for life. hungryroot.com/pinkshade, code pinkshade. Point. And Sean says, Vanya, I'm really sorry that happened to you. And Adnan goes, we are all sorry, Vanya. Even though you are a whore that sleeps with a man before marriage.
And I'm going to make fun of you in probably about 5 seconds.
And also, what is that dress? You're trying to get attention.
Yeah.
So, and then Vanya says, yeah, I was truly heartbroken. I was, but she had already planned that trip to Croatia. We already heard about that. And yes, she went back to Croatia.
But the videotape, to be clear, had nothing to do with the breakup. He broke up with her.
And but he recorded her when they were in Orlando, and then they broke up after that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. She was willing to forgive that.
She was. I mean,
but
which is her decision.
Yeah. But so, okay, so she went back to Croatia, and she goes, we had a fun time. We hung out one day on the beach, and they were like, Joe's like, anything happened there? Anything going on there when you're physical? And she says, well, we kissed by the car when I left, and Sean's like a kiss? And she goes, no, it was like a makeout at the end of the day. They're all like, oh, makeout. They're like, but it went nowhere. And Yoshka says,
did you see Vea shaking her head like a lot? She was like, I can't tell if she was mad at at Vanya for like forgiving Yoshiko and making out with him,
Mm-hmm.
or this back and forth, or if she was mad at Yoshiko for like being broken up with her, but then making out with her and giving her false hope.
Yeah, probably that.
Okay.
I would
I
hope.
couldn't tell, but she looked disgusted.
She's just upset about her hairstyle.
It's pulling her scalp so tight. She probably has a headache.
I think I don't know what's happening. Okay, so, but it went nowhere. It went nowhere after that. And Yoshiko says, well, she came all the way here to tour my country, so I wanted to see her too. And Niles goes, and you wanted to have sex with her. And Joey and Adnan both laugh like
they're
look
all
at
best
us.
friends now.
We're all look at us. So just
They have a
bros,
common
just
enemy. Yeah.
just bros, just laughing. And Yoshiko says, "Hey, please have some respect." And Niles is like, after the video you took of her, you can't talk about respect. And he's like laughing. And Adnan, who now agrees with Niles, they're best friends, goes,
Yeah.
You took video of her in secret, now talking about respect. Come on, Niles, am I right? Come on.
Mm-mm.
And then
because that was about disrespecting a woman having a video, but Yoshiko is a man and he still demands respect for himself that Niles wasn't giving him.
I guess so. We should ask Adnan. He knows all about it. And it seems like they lose a connection because he's quiet. And they're like, did we lose Yoshiko? Did we lose him? And Niles goes, no, he just doesn't want to answer. And he says, I was talking, but there are rude people talking when I am talking. So, okay. And Vanya goes, yeah, I saw him one time in Split. And then when I went back to Split, he didn't want to see me because of the kiss that had happened by the car. And he basically, he's like, I didn't want to lead her on. And I felt bad about the kiss because like if one person has feelings and the other one doesn't, I shouldn't have done that, you know? So he's like really torn, you know?
Yeah.
And Sanella says, do you still have feelings for Vanya? And he goes, so there's a physical attraction, even though she would only do 2 positions. And he said, there's a physical attraction, but do I look
tiny vagina? I wish it was a little bigger.
Yeah, we could have really worked on that and made it bigger. He says, but do I love her? No. I just wish the best for her. She's capable and beautiful, amazing woman of many talents, and I wish her the best. And when he said, I wish her the best, he's Sean Robinson's like, hold on, that's my line.
That's my line.
You don't be taking my line. So Vanya says, I just give and give a lot in relationships, and this is what happens. And Brian, of course, coming in with the bad take always says, well, then you have to ask yourself why. And why you keep
Shut the F up, Brian.
You have to like look inward and, to ask yourself why. And she goes, I'm not the problem. She says, I'm perfectly happy with who I am. I just keep running across situations with these men where this happens. And Niles goes, don't worry, Vanya. That happened with me too. And then I met Matilda, and we see Matilda over there just smiles. It's really cute. And Sanella says, she gave you her heart and you threw it away like shit. I was like, whoa.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's they didn't work out.
I think that's right. I think that it was sort of what he initially said was, it's very hard for me to find a woman that I think can fit in with this because he has to prioritize his child at this time in his life. And I think Vanya was on that list of women that just weren't fitting in with what he feels like he needs to do,
Yeah. I don't think the sex tape aside, pretending that never happened, I don't think he had any nefarious intentions in going into this relationship. And I don't think he took her heart and just threw it away with no thought.
I think that when she went there and he wouldn't see her the second time, he's like, okay, we did go, we did have a great time. We did make out by the car. And I really like seeing her, but she really wants it to be something more and I can't do it. So I really just shouldn't see her, which is like the adult thing to do, even though it's very, very, very hard. Mm-hmm. Very, very hard. And he says, well, my only mistake was making the video. And, everything else I have apologized for. I have, blah, 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 blah. She's wonderful. She's great. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. That was his big mistake.
Sean says, okay, Sanella, thanks for joining us. And before she could even get it out of her mouth, Sanella's like, okay. She stands up. She runs off the stage. And Vanya and Bojo and Yoshiko, good luck finding love in the future. And Bojo's like, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you very much. It's just like when Fonzie is on happy days. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I've never seen someone as happy as Bojo when he heard about the sex tape, because he's like, at least I didn't film her. Am I right, guys? Guys, I didn't even kiss her.
I did like when Sean Robinson's like, which is worse?
Yeah.
Which is worse? She's like, well, they're both terrible in different ways.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to Vea and Sunny.
Also, on Pillow, can I just interject? On Pillow Talk, people were making fun of Niles when he said, is this like online, like this video?
Oh, right. Is it out there?
Is it out there? And he was, I feel like, genuinely concerned that like it got distributed somewhere. And everyone on Pillow Talk is like, why, you want to see it? You want to watch it? Do you want to masturbate to it? Blah, blah, blah. And they were like totally teasing him. And I was like, this is a very serious thing that just happened. Yeah. With this videotape, and Niles is disgusted, and you guys, and he's like, what? No, I was concerned. I wouldn't. Why would I say that in front of Matt? Like, why would I do it? He was so, and they kept poking at him, and I was like, you guys, that obviously was not what he meant.
No, I think he and Vanya have gotten a really nice friendship.
Yeah.
And I think he's like trying to like protect her.
Yeah. The whole Pillow House is just Pillow Talk house is just like a bunch of people who have been told they're funny, and then they're trying to one up each other and be louder. It's very much like a podcaster. Like, I would be a disaster in that house.
Yes. Pillow House is my new favorite place. Pillow House.
Emily and Kobe, the best ones.
No matter what. Always. And then I loved how she was like, they were talking about, Yoshiko's penis or whatever. And she's like, oh, don't talk to me. I've got a Cameroonian man over here. Yeah. Okay, up top. Give me 5, Kobe. All right. So let's go back to Vea and Sunny. So we talk about the whole Rory thing, right? It seems everybody agrees and about her bringing Rory and not telling Sunny and all that. And Brian's like, what if he did the same damn thing? That would be a disaster. And Joey's like, yeah, it's a bad way to start a relationship. And Niles goes, even I know from social cues, you should never do that.
This sort of started to drive me crazy because, like, she gets that it was a bad decision.
Yeah, she does.
She has admitted it was a terrible decision to do this in secret. And they just keep coming at her. And she's like, I've already said I think it was a bad thing that I did.
Yeah, yeah. And Vea says, well, I did ask other people, but nobody could go. And Adnan and Brian are both like, well, you looked all cuddly on the plane. And Adnan was funny. He goes, your head just didn't go whoop and go on the shoulder, like whoop on the shoulder. She's like, ew, no. It was funny. And Tiger Lily thought that was super funny.
She thinks everything he does is funny. Also, I'm pretty sure in those B-roll shots they took of themselves on the plane, she was like had her head on his shoulder.
Well, she was doing like a selfie, like put her heads together on the plane.
Yeah, but wasn't there a scene where she was asleep? But she wasn't like on his lap or something.
If there was B-roll with her head on his shoulder, I didn't see it, and that would be damning evidence.
Yeah, I mean, I would have to go back, and that would be like second episode. I don't have time to do that.
No, nobody has time for that.
It's just time to move on.
Go look at Reddit, and somebody will tell you there. Okay, so Vea says she asked other people, they couldn't go. And we talked about the cuddling on the plane. And Niles goes, like, did you think that was a good idea? If you were using like your logical thinking brain? And she goes, hey, Niles, don't talk to me like I'm stupid. Don't talk to me like that. He goes,
yeah.
He goes, I apologize.
He just gets caught up. I think when he understands what's going on and he's part of the group and but then it feels like they're all piling on. And so I was glad she stood up to him. And then he immediately is like, you're right. My bad.
And so she goes, and no, I don't regret bringing him. It's like, dun, dun, dun. And I was like, all right. Now we're going to connecting from Ohio. It's Rory. Hi, Rory. Hi, Rory. And Adnan has to get the first question. Adnan goes, what's the reason you broke up with her? And when he says that, the door behind him opens like the dog. And when I tell you,
so scared, I immediately thought murderer or ghost.
So I was watching it, but I was packing last night to come back home. And I had it on on the bed, like while I was packing, I was walking around. And when I heard Adnan go, your door open, I was like, wait, what happened? And I went and watched it. I was dying. That shit was so funny.
It was so funny. And then the dogs start like fully like making out with each other behind him. Like they're totally licking each other's faces.
I was trying to see. I was like, is that two dogs? Is there a
Yeah,
person on the floor with a dog? I couldn't see what was happening.
it was two dogs. And they keep cutting to Vanya, who's like laughing, but not at what Rory's saying, but what's happening behind him. It was very cute.
It was very funny. And looking at this room, by the way, it definitely looks like either a producer came in and staged that for him or a girl lives there because it was light blue walls.
Yeah.
And then along the moldings, it was sort of like cracked, right? Like it needed to be repainted along the ceiling and stuff. And then on the chest of drawers in the back was like a little shelf with like decorations on it.
Oh.
But then behind him were pictures of dogs on the wall, like his own dogs.
And he's in like a gamer's chair.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very confusing. Maybe he lives in his mom's house.
I was like, is this his childhood bedroom?
Right.
And because it's like light blue,
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to figure it out, but it was funny too on Pillow Talk because it was Veronica said, that looks like your stupid gaming chair to Tim. And he goes, how dare you? Mine is a one of a kind Game of Thrones gaming chair or something like that. She's like, okay, dork. All right. He has no leg to stand on. So the door opens, which was just so funny. And so Rory says, no, man, like, I didn't have an issue with Sonny. I didn't, yeah. I mean, my only issue with him was stubbornness and religion. And there's no animosity. There's no hidden intention. My goal was to get her to South Africa safely and not get kidnapped because she's real dumb.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what he's saying. She thinks she can use Apple Pay at a outdoor African market. So Joe says, she was just embarrassing her boyfriend. Like, that's just all it was. She was just embarrassing her boyfriend. And Vea goes, yeah, I agree. I made a mistake. Yeah, but, everybody gets along now and everything's great. Right, Rory? And Sean says, what was the thing about about Rory making the snide comments on social media? And he goes, oh, I didn't do any snide comments. I was like, no. And she goes, no, I just did like, ha ha on his pictures, just like poking the bear. Well, those are snide.
Those are snide comments, buddy.
And he's like, and she goes, yeah, the thing is this, Rory and Sonny are so different. And like, he doesn't even understand, like, why would a dude to take so many selfies? And so he just thought it was funny because Sonny takes a lot of selfies, like a lot of pictures.
So Sonny posts a lot of
selfies
of himself on his social.
And just every time he would do it, Rory would go under it and go, ha!
That's actually hilarious. Also, how many of the comments do you think are about his eyebrows?
I bet so many people are like, you have the most beautiful eyes. Could you just do a little trim there in the middle? Yeah.
He has to know because
he knows. He has to know.
The photos out there, so then he has to see the comments.
We should look. We should go look at his Instagram.
I actually really, really want to look. Like even before the season started, like how was he getting comments?
Yeah, I mean he has to. It's a common denominator. You can't not talk about it. It seems. So Sonny goes, look, here's the thing. I just take a lot of pictures for memories, and it's fine. I just everybody doesn't have to be the same. People could be different. And Sonny, they ask, how are you doing? And he says he and Vea are in a really good position right now, and we wish you the best. Okay, and that's the end of them. All right, until next week.
And then someone says to Rory, "Go enjoy your game." Or whatever.
It could be so funny if he like had a controller in his hand. I was like, yeah. Am I still on?
It's on.
Yeah. Lauren and Faith. Let's bring back Lauren's friend Esther. Esther says she thinks Lauren is misunderstood and thinks he'll be attacked. So she's glad to be there as his friend. So she should probably get tested for STDs since she used to date Lauren. Lauren was flirting at the bar. Let's look back at that night. And they were in the car and she's saying, my friend saw you flirting. He's like, what? She's like, I saw you flirting with the drag queen. He goes, no, this is how you act with the drag queen. And I was like, again, with this guy. Why can't he just talk in a sentence like a regular person? And then he says, he tells her the whole story about how, so when it seems like I was flirting, I just put my hand and said, I can't talk to you. So I just denied the flirting of a random girl. I wasn't flirting with the drag queen. Hand on her
her
face.
neck face
Yeah.
area.
So they're all like, Lauren, I don't know about this. He goes, yeah, when this first happened, I was like, how on earth did she catch me talking to the girl on the other side of the parking lot? And Joe goes, yeah, you just said catch me. So you.
But in his defense, I think he was saying like it in quotes. How did she catch me when I wasn't even talking to that woman? I think that's how he was saying. I never thought I'd be defending Lauren.
He didn't defend himself.
Hell just froze over.
Yeah. And Niall says, this is the definition of stupidity. Knowing you're doing something wrong and she won't like it, but you did it anyway. And he goes, it was just a miscommunication. It was a miscommunication because it was about, this teenager or whatever. And Joe says, well, first you said you didn't want to be caught. And now you're saying you did it not to be rude. So, and Esther goes, you all just don't like him. And you're being mean. You're like attacking him. And Niles goes, Esther, you're making yourself look worse. And she goes, how? And he goes, everybody here agrees with me, Esther. And Adnan, she looks over at Adnan, and Adnan goes, not me. I'm friendly. I am peace.
I'm just a great guy. I'm friends with all of you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It has been good to meet all of you.
It has been good to meet every single one of you. And I wish the best for you and your family. And Esther says, you haven't said one nice word this whole time. And Adnan goes, okay, Lauren, your relationship will never work because she needs a man. He was like, do you see? You're right. I am an asshole. And Adnan laughs, and Niles goes, because Lauren says, I am a man. And Adnan laughs, and Niles says, no, you're not. And of course, Lauren, because he's trying to be wacky, he goes, well, I do have only one testicle.
Shock jock humor. It's just
nobody bites whenever he does this.
Just don't bite. It's a physical version of a troll online. Yeah. Don't feed him.
Yeah. And Niles goes, well, whatever. It's fucked up what you're doing. And Esther says, well, maybe you're closed-minded. And Niles says,
what
yeah.
What the hell does that mean?
And Niles goes, yeah, my mind is closed to fucked up shit. He says, because it's fucked up what he's doing. And Esther goes, well, he's not perfect. And Niles is like, I'm not perfect either, but I'll admit when I did something wrong and say, I'm sorry. I don't have the mental gymnastics to do all of this. I'll just say, you're right. I'm sorry. He just did it 5 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And Lauren says, I've told you I'm sorry. Right, Faith? And she says, he's always sorry. But
even his apologies are manipulative.
Yes.
And gaslighty.
I have said sorry, right?
Uh-huh.
And she says he's always sorry, but the story ends hurt. I think she's trying to say, but the story always ends with me being hurt.
Mm-hmm.
And she's crying. And Adnan says, hey, Faith, stop crying like you're losing a diamond or $10 million. It's just Lauren. Wow. Yeah. And Lauren says, let her cry if she needs to cry. And they say, look, she just has to decide. And he said, yeah, she does. It's just that simple. And then they're like, yeah, but how can she decide when you haven't changed? He goes, what do you mean? I have changed everything about myself just for Faith. And Brian goes, listen, if they chose to be together, like, that's their business. I think Brian's like, can we just move on and get back to me?
Yeah.
So now
Esther does just need to walk away with her dignity and stop defending Lauren.
No, it's too late. It's too late.
It is. It's too late.
It's too late. So now we talk about the whole idea of marriage again. And Lauren says, okay, it is legal to be married now in Taipei and Thailand. So then I could go to if we got married in Taipei or Thailand, I could go to the Philippines on a K3. We don't know what a K3 is.
I don't know. It sounds like a mountain that you're supposed to climb.
And Sean goes, the main problem here with that is she does not consider you her fiance.
Right.
And he goes, well, she'll have to make a choice before we go there. And Sean says, but why would you go there if you're not engaged?
Right.
And he says, it's a full paid vacation. And she doesn't even have to sleep with me. She just deserves a full paid vacation. Right. No strings attached.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean says, okay, so if she decides that you're engaged while you're there, then you'll get married? And he goes, right. And Faith literally goes, I thought we were just going to Thailand for a vacation.
Yeah, she had no idea.
No idea. And Joe goes, so you don't know about the plans to get married while you're there. And Faith is like, no, no, this is a surprise. It's a marriage. I don't think so. No. And he goes, no way, Faith. I don't have my phone with me, but I know I talked to you about this. It's the same with I'm sleeping with my friends.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping at my friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if I'm sleeping at my friends, I'm banging them. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
And
This all
okay.
feels like he was planning to take her on vacation and trick her into marriage so that he could get to the Philippines, which is his only dream.
Yeah,
It has nothing to do with her.
totally. Totally. And she's like, what? And Sean says, all right, before he makes another stupid joke, Faith, do you see a realistic future with Lauren? And she says, Lauren, I really love you, but I don't know if that makes it a reality. I think we're very comfortable with the friendship. And he goes, well, things have been weird lately, and I felt like it was off. And why didn't you just tell me that? And she goes, oh, I told you I have a headache all the time because I'm stressed out and I have to make a decision. And then Sean goes, okay, so are you breaking up with him? Like, please put us out of our misery.
Yeah, exactly.
And Vanya says, look, Faith, you have to make a decision. And this is Lauren. This is who you're getting. This is who he is. And you have to
not
decide.
changing.
Yeah. And you have to decide if this is who you want to be with. Like, Vanya's not even being shady or rude. She's just like, this is who he is. This is how he's going to act.
Mm-hmm.
Is it worth it? Basically?
Is it worth it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And if it is, okay. But like,
yeah.
no, you're going in with your eyes open. This is who you are choosing.
Yeah. I thought it was a great point. And Faith says, well, I really do love him. And there's so much to think about here. And Esther goes, look, Faith, you need to be straight to the point with him. And she goes, don't push me to the decision. And he goes, I'm not pushing you. And she goes, okay, it's a no.
I loved it.
I loved it. Because he's like, I'm not pushing you. Everything's fine. And she goes, it's a no. And that's the end. Okay. I couldn't believe it. That was the end.
So happy.
So happy. Next time on, it seems like Ingrid and Brian broke up and he went on Brazil Tinder that night. That's how upset he was. He went on back on the dating app that same night.
I just can't. What is it?
And he met someone.
You accuse this woman of using you for a green card, and then you just hop back on the app to find another Brazilian woman.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I think Tim asked him next week if he just has engagement rings laying around his house. And he says,
and he said, yeah, I have a couple. Yeah, just in case.
And he met someone, and then we see her. And then you see, what does Ingrid say? She says something like, let him just stab me in the back or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's probably like her best friend or something.
She's looking like so distastefully at the new chick, like wrinkling her nose.
Just like, ew. Her?
I would be like, look, honey, let me warn you. Don't become wife number 17.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
I almost did. Just
at least get a ring first.
Yeah. But I can't wait for everyone to turn on Brian.
But Ingrid wouldn't have known this woman because he met the woman in Recife where he was, because Ingrid had flown back home. So I bet this woman lives in Recife where his ex-wife also lives.
Right, where he was
one of them.
The ex-wife. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Vanya talks to Lauren backstage, and he does something that I guess is crying. It was very hard to look at.
It was he's eating something at the same time, and it's like the heat from what he's eating is like, or like super sour or something.
Yeah.
So he's doing. So I honestly couldn't tell if he was crying or if it was like
the food.
Oh, that's hot. Oh, but it's like
you're right. That he was like
crunching up.
Yeah. Like, that scared me. I had a feeling. Oh, it just came over me.
I got a shock.
Woo.
Woo.
A real emotion. Woo.
Yeah. It's very strange. It's the weirdest crying I've ever seen. It will haunt my nightmares.
I mean, we're dying to know if they're going to bring up the fact that he married somebody 2 weeks after he got home.
What that freaking... I can't. I don't even know if they're going to bring that up.
I did tell you that I asked my TLC person if I could talk to Faith, and she said, yeah, let's hold off on that right now. So there's some things going on with them.
And I'm dying to know what that means.
I know. I don't know what that means.
Is he suing them?
Surely not.
But he is that sort of person that would try to do a money grab for some ridiculous, like my coffee was too hot and it spilled on me.
Yeah.
I know that lady really was burned. Apologies to that McDonald's lady.
Yeah, but it's like, see this clip here when Vanya asked me a question and I made that face? It's
Yeah.
because my food was too hot and I burned the top
Yeah.
of my mouth.
Yeah.
That's why I was
I
crying.
have permanent nerve damage on my tongue now, and I can't do my sexy stuff.
To Kimberly.
Sorry.
So then we see, all right. So in some never before seen footage, Joey had a pool party. And it seemed like some people were there. Some people that were there were more than friends. Let's take a look. And he's like, oh God, oh God. Now, we did see the footage of the pool party.
Is it a different pool party?
I wonder if it's the same pool party, but it's just stuff we didn't see. Or maybe it's an entirely different pool party. And
Or
they're
is it
saying
going to reveal that he was exes, not just with Jill, but that other chick
somebody
too?
else. Yeah, maybe. And then we hear them saying, hooked up. What does hooked up mean? And Vanya's like, answer the question. Then we see Sunny, and Sunny says, yeah, we're going to get married. We're going to have a family. And Vaya goes, I don't know, Sunny. Like, we're going to have to talk about it another time. We have to talk about this further. And it seems like he gets mad and takes off his mic, but really, I think the show is over and he was taking off his mic and they're trying to trick us. I think it's like, don't say we're going to have 5 kids. We haven't even talked about it yet, you know?
Yeah.
And then we see Joey going, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I'm done. And he's changing clothes or whatever. And Lauren says, wow, I thought Joe had his shit together. And Brian goes, yeah, he's a grown man. Stop pouting. And Lauren,
what of his behavior has led you to believe he's a grown man? He almost missed his flight across the country twice and had to go back for some alcohol.
Yeah. Once he overslept, his second time is because he was going to miss his vodka shooters. Yeah.
And then when he took a soft pretzel class, he made dick jokes the whole time.
Yeah. All these are good points. All these are good points.
He doesn't know how to fold his clothes.
No. Mm-mm. And Lauren says, for what I can see regarding Joey, he says, from what I can see, he was deflecting the whole time and he literally lied. And he's supposed to be a man, but he's being a little bitch. Lauren's like, I'm so happy this is not on me.
Uh-huh.
And then we see him go into his car saying, I'm not going to do this, guys. I'm not going to do this. Sorry. And he gets in his car. Now, I don't know if this is all
leave during his segment or after.
I don't know. I don't know if and why is he mad? If he got caught with something, he's like, I got to go talk to Magna. I got to go find out if she's mad at me.
He did come in too confident to the tell-all. He was like, I don't know no one's going to have to say anything bad about me. I'm super likable. Like, and I don't even care what these people's opinions are because I don't respect any of them anyway. So he came in too confident.
But he had to know that if there was something that was filmed that wasn't shown, he has to know that it's still out there, you know?
Yeah. And if she hears one more secret, she will threaten to break up with him, but then totally stay with him.
Don't make me laugh. I'll start coughing. That's exactly what she'll do. I'm wondering if a lot of this is just pieced together with when they showed the pool party and they were like, are you going to tell that you used to date Jill? And that they had a full discussion about it.
Right.
And then it was like, Jill and I used to hook up. And then everybody is because they haven't seen everything.
Right.
They're like, oh, you used to hook up with that girl? What does hook up mean? And he could be like, well, we dated for 6 months and we did have sex. And then it could all be just fraud.
Rehashing stuff we've already seen.
Yeah.
But I do hope we get to see that pool party scene again with the two ladies like arching their backs like they are in a bikini calendar photo shoot.
Yes, because they were just posing by the pool. Like it looked like sometimes what you see on the back of like trucks, like the outline of the woman who's sitting with her knees up and she's got her that's what, with the arch back and the boobs out. Yeah, that's what they looked like.
Yeah, and their faces are just like the pursing of the lips was insane. I can't wait to see it again.
This is our moment, even though it's just TLC. Maybe we'll make it to Bravo. Yeah. Oh, I'm so happy we did this in under an hour. Look at us.
Look at us. We're great. We're professionals.
So guys, we are going to have the tell-all part 4 will be next week. And then we have a skip for the Super Bowl. and I'm going to put something in that spot. It'll be something from Patreon or it'll be a bonus, but it'll be something that'll go in that spot. But Kimberly and I are going to get a break. It's the only time. This is the only time in a calendar year that Matt Sharp takes a break, and it's only for the Super Bowl. So I think I deserve to have that day off.
Absolutely, you do. It's the Lord's Day.
You know who will be at the Super Bowl?
Taylor?
Yeah, Taylor.
Is that team in it again?
Yes. They're going to be in it for the third time. And if they win, it will be the third time ever that a team has won the Super Bowl 3 times in a row.
Wow. That's crazy. That's a lot of pressure. I can't watch. I will be watching the Puppy Bowl.
Okay. Well, you don't care about football, so why do you care?
I just care about Taylor.
Okay. Well, I'm sure she'll be there.
She was at this past game. If he loses, I feel like people will be like, that's because because people are dumb.
Well, they didn't win. They didn't lose the last 2 games and she was there, or she was at the last one.
Okay, good.
Yeah. But it's a big deal if they win 3 in a row.
Well, good for them. And
the last person they beat was the Eagles, and that's who they're playing again is the Eagles. So that's kind of why it's a huge deal, because the Eagles will be like, oh, we're not going to want to let them get it. But anyway, both teams are good. So actually, it'll probably be a good football game instead of like Super Bowl is usually kind of a blowout. One team kind of kills the other, and it's not fun to watch. It's not fun to watch anyway because it's football. But Kendrick Lamar is the musical guest.
Oh, okay.
And
he's good.
Yeah.
I approve. Oh, sorry.
So was there a new Dateline this past Friday that will be on my DVR?
No. But we did a very old one from our second year of the podcast in 2018. It's called Death Trap. And
Did you put up an old podcast or you redid it?
We re-recorded. And it's such a wild episode. It's on Peacock. It's insane. It's like literally one of the craziest episodes ever.
Death Trap on Peacock. Date with Dateline. Just Dateline, not Date with Dateline. That's you. Okay, well, I was listening to your episode today, and sometimes I will listen to you or Casey, if I'm going to take a nap, because I put it on because your voices are familiar. It just puts me right to sleep. But now I've got to rewind it because I was so fascinated by that case you guys did last week, the burn pit, the burn pile murder or whatever.
Yeah.
I think I'm still confused.
There's a lot of family members. Yeah.
2 sons, 2 daughters.
Yeah.
The sons and 1 daughter were anti-mom, and only the 1 daughter was pro-mom.
Correct. Only the 1 child, the 1 daughter out of the 4, stuck by the mom.
Right. And then, I mean, spoiler alert, the mom was convicted.
Yeah.
But then she got on the stand and was like, I just want to let everybody know, like, I'm covering for my son.
Yeah, he did it. Yeah.
He did it. Yeah.
It was pretty despicable.
But maybe he did do it.
I don't think so.
But again, I heard you guys talking about if she killed him in the house, like if she shot him in the house, but they don't know how he died because she burned him up.
Yeah.
How did she get him out to that burn pile? Because it wasn't like a fire pit in the backyard where she could just drag him through the house. It was like far down in the woods or whatever.
I think something happened in the house, but I think she actually killed him by the burn pile. So I think
she killed him and then just like pushed him in.
Something like that. Yeah, like because she did say he was going to go down there to make sure the fire wasn't too big. I told him to. Like I told him to not go to bed with the fire too big. So that could be she led him down there.
Yeah.
And then shot him and got him into the fire.
Yeah, it's like the freaking Murdaugh. Yeah, I'm going to go down there and check on those dogs and then
for sure
kill everybody.
You
guys.
Yeah. She's kind of a despicable human.
I got to tell you though, she looked really good with her gray hair when she was
had a glow up. Her mugshot was very rough, but she looked great for trial.
She looked great for trial. Do you think it's because she'd had like no drinking, no hard living, and she kind of cleansed herself a little bit?
Maybe. I've never seen hair go gray that smoothly though. Like she was out on bond though, so she got to get her full conditioning treatments and stuff.
Great. Yeah, her hair looked great. And yeah, you're right. Normally if somebody goes gray, it's
and stuff out, you know, you can usually tell prison living or out on bond living.
Well, she's in prison now.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a great episode. And then the one this week is going to be called Death Trap. You can find it on Peacock.
Yeah.
That's it. And guys, this week, so we had Keisha was on yesterday for the second to last episode of Love During Lockup. Next week is the finale. Of course, today is this. And then this Thursday, I have Amy Phillips on to talk Pop and Bravo. Ingrid and I are still covering. We've got 2 episodes left on Sold on SLC.
Fun.
And then, of course, you guys, February 14th, we'll be ramping up with Love is Blind.
Boy. And that's when Yellow Jacket starts.
And White Lotus.
And White Lotus.
Oh my gosh. And I'm going to be on Kimberly and Katie's live on Friday night talking about traitors. So tell everybody how they find that.
You have to join our Patreon or our Supercast, and it's worth it because those live streams are really, really fun.
Yeah, the chat is hilarious.
Yeah.
The chat is hilarious. Am I the only guest, or is there other guests?
I think it'll just be you, me, and Katie.
Okay.
The thruple rides again.
The thruple. Ooh, I don't like the way that sounds. I don't like the way that sounds. Well, that's exciting because, I don't like competition in my thruple.
Yeah.
I don't.
Want it to turn into a tell-all type
to be
fight.
a quad sitch. By the way, we have a thruple, coming up.
I'm so excited.
Are you excited? I'm not really excited.
I'm excited about some of the other couples, like the hairdresser makeup guy. Does he do hair or makeup?
Oh, he does hair.
Okay.
Burger King, you mean?
Yeah, I'm interested in seeing Burger King man again.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I'm not really interested in seeing Sarper and Shekinah again.
Sarper, somebody asked him what he thought about watching Adnan on the tell-all. And he's like, oh, if I would have been there. He's like, I would have put him in his place.
Good. And people on the on Reddit were like, who would have been your ideal person? And they were like, John, Sparkle, shut up. Like John or or Sarper for sure. Because Sarper's a misogynist too, but like in his own special brand.
Right.
Like he wouldn't have tolerated that. And Jasmine, they thought Jasmine would have gone off on Adnan. Yeah.
Okay, I've also seen some spoilers about the upcoming Last Resort tell-all that somebody wrote on Reddit, and it was posted, I think, on like Mary Pants or Reality Tea or Kiki and Keep. It's one of these ones. Somebody posted it that they were sitting at a table next to Gino at a restaurant. He was with a different woman.
Uh-huh.
And that he was talking super loud. This person goes, I was not trying to listen. He was like screaming. And she said, and I didn't try to get a picture or anything. I was too busy listening. Basically said that at the Last Resort tell-all that Jasmine like walks out 7 months pregnant hand in hand, like with her new guy at the tell-all, and that everybody yells at her, and she and Florian get in a fight, and
So she's already pregnant?
Oh, the word is that she's like 8 months pregnant.
At the tell-all, but was she already pregnant when they were filming The Last Resort, or just
I don't think so.
I really break in between.
I think they filmed The Last Resort a long time ago.
But not the tell-all,
right? But at the tell-all, she was 8 months pregnant with this new guy. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god!
Yeah, and then she went on to TikTok and was like crying, and people were like, "Why is she crying? Because she left her kids? No, probably not." They said she had a stalker, and the stalker was trying to ruin her life. So,
was it Gino?
Was it the new boyfriend? I mean, is it Natalie?
Is it what was the guy from Panama that she loved so much? The hot guy.
Oh, what was his name?
That gave her all the money for her butt implants.
Yeah, what was his name? Shoot, his name was like Chad, but she called him something completely different.
I loved him. He's so
oh my god, I can't remember that guy's name, but literally his name was like Chad, and she was like, my friend Had, or whatever. It made no sense whatever she called him. Oh damn it, I can't remember that now. But no, he was cute too.
He was so cute,
He was Australian. Excuse me. Okay, everybody. I will see
Dane.
you.
It was Dane, but she called him
Dan.
Yeah,
Dane. It was Dan. You got that so fast, Kimberly. You were fast on the Google.
Googled. Yeah. Good. Yeah.
All right, everybody. We will see you here next week to talk about the tell-all part 4. Thank God. Then we'll have a week break, and then we go into 90-day OG. Thanks for gutting it out with us, guys. It's been a long one.
Yeah. We appreciate you.
Bye. ads not read by me, Mary Payne, don't necessarily reflect the views of Pink Shade. If you'd like to listen to ad-free, you're going to go on over to Supercast or Patreon, and you can find the links to Pink Shade Prime at pinkshadepodcast.com.